Hi guys. Today I want to talk about how narcissists are created. And I'm going to focus on one area specifically because there are a lot of different theories and ideas of how narcissists come to be, whether they are destined from birth to be these types of people, whether they are nurtured by either abuse, neglect, or overindulgence into becoming these type of people. And I think it's a little bit of everything. I think it's the perfect storm. But something that I have seen with my own eyes more than once, and I personally believe to be a major factor in creating narcissists, is the golden child theory. I think that if a child or a young adult is worshipped and spoiled and put upon a pedestal, they are destined to become narcissists. If a parent worships a child to the point where they can never do anything wrong, you're essentially brainwashing this child into who is going to grow into an adult who thinks they can do nothing wrong. They are so conditioned into thinking they are foolproof that they go into adulthood with these same beliefs. When someone is put upon a pedestal, they are praised constantly. They are enabled. Their loved ones don't discipline them. They don't call them out on bad behaviors. They don't suffer consequences for their actions. And they are constantly being praised for bad, inappropriate, or even illegal behavior. They are being trained to be above the law. Not just the law in a criminal sense, but the law of humanity. There's a level of moral and ethics that does not apply to them. And the thing is, when this happens from a young age, and usually it does, if we use an example of a mother and a son, sometimes the mother can spoil this son from the moment they're born through their toddlerhood, childhood, young adulthood, and then adulthood. They can coddle them and praise them all through this path. And the son, and I'm just using this as an example for illustrative purposes of this video, you can swap out whatever gender and whatever dynamic you want to that's applicable to your situation. But just to keep things simple, I'm going to go with the mother-son example here. So if that son is repeatedly told and taught from such a young age that they can't do any wrong, that they're foolproof, that they're infallible, that they are, in essence, better than other people because they don't have to pay the consequences and pay the price that other people in a similar situation do. For example, what if this child got in trouble at school? Let's use an example of a fifth grader. And maybe they're bullying on the playground, or they've gotten in a fist fight with a fellow student. And the principal calls them into the office and calls the parent up. and the parent comes to the office to sit down with the principal and the student. Now, there's one of two directions that parent can take. They can side with the principal and scold the child and say that was inappropriate behavior, that's not acceptable, there's going to be a punishment, you are grounded, and the next time it's going to be worse because we don't tolerate this. The other side of this could be the parent going in and saying, oh, boys will be boys, he's just a child, we can't punish him, oh, everybody's okay, this is okay, sweetie, don't worry, you'll be fine, did you get hurt? And then they flip it and make it all about their child being the victim instead of being the bully. Now that child has just been rewarded for that kind of behavior. So in which example do you think the child is more likely to grow up to be a narcissist? I think it's the one where there's a lack of consequences. There is abuse in a sense that there is a lack of punishment and repercussions for their actions. And this is an abuse in a way. It's not abuse in the typical aspect of their being verbally abused or physically abused, but it is emotional abuse when you're not teaching a child responsibility because they grow up with a sense of entitlement. And what do we know about narcissists? Narcissists are extremely entitled. They think they're better than other people. They think they're above the law in both the criminal sense and the humanity sense. The rules don't apply to narcissists, and they have the grandiose sense of self. They think they're more deserving. They think they're better than. And this comes from being treated as the golden child. So the next time you are wondering where this person, this grown adult, may have picked up these narcissistic traits, if you're wondering what made them this way, look back to their childhood. Look back to the way they were treated by their parents. Look back to the way a son was treated by his mother. Could he never ever do any wrong in her eyes? Did she cover for him when he did do wrong? Was she in absolute denial about his flaws? Was he the most perfect person in the world? So when we're looking at the mother-son example, when this son as a child is so spoiled and coddled and can do no wrong, and he grows into an adult male and has a relationship with a woman, he is going to expect that same kind of behavior and response in his spouse that he got from in his mother. And it's very likely, unless his spouse is a codependent or becomes one, he's not going to get it. A woman that has strict boundaries and is not going to enable somebody to abuse them is not going to appease the narcissist. And so this can and will cause a lot of conflict in that relationship. I hope this video answers any questions on this topic, and as always, if you don't already subscribe, please subscribe now. You can also follow me on Instagram at Narcaway, and I love you all. I'll see you in the next video.